Stand by. Contact.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Pit Talk, pulling pits and opinions with your host, Gunny G, where service members help service members, period. Follow, like, subscribe everywhere you get your podcasts and on all social media platforms. Let me know how I'm doing. Any criticism is good criticism. Let's get into it. Hey, before we get started with Mike Wiles, did I say that right?
Mike Wiles.
God dang it. Mike Wiles. Mike Wiles. My goodness, I did it. Messed it up again. Anyway, before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, hey, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following. And thank you for those amazing people that felt it in their heart, gracious in their heart to donate to the cause. I appreciate it very much. Let's get into it now. Mike Wiles. Did I say that right now? Third time's a charm, man. I'm not even gonna say your whole name. I'm just gonna say Mike. Hey, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it, and the listeners will. The listeners will appreciate it too. Where you calling in from?
Well, right now, man, I'm in Hiram, Georgia. I'm actually out here on recruiting duty. So,
hey, better you than me, homie.
Yeah, better me than you. Absolutely.
Hey, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it, for taking the time to come on. I know you're working. Try and get the numbers in. Well, let's get into it, Mike. Hey, dog, we're on the streets with Mike. We got to be real. What do you see out there? How you feel out there? And before we get all that meat and potatoes, let's quick background. Where you from? How long you been in? Family, friends, all that good stuff. The billets and all that good stuff.
Absolutely, man. I was born in Liberia. Came to the States when I was about 11 years old. Grew up in New Jersey. So I like to tell people I'm a Jersey guy because I am a Jersey guy, you know. I've been in for 15 years now, enlisted out of New Jersey. I've been all over the place. Bulk of my time has been with the 2nd Marine Division, 1, 2, 3, 6, 2, 2, 2, 8. MWSS 172, and a little bit of time here and there. And now I'm out here on recruiting duty. I've been stationed on Okinawa. I've been in New York, South Carolina, North Carolina. Now I'm here in Georgia. And obviously, like I said earlier, I was stationed in New York. So I've had a good experience, man. I've had a good experience.
What's your job?
I'm a supply chain manager by trade.
Mm-hmm.
So 3043. Started off my career as a 3051. Right towards the end of my first enlistment, I lateral moved and became a 3043. So my early years, I was a warehouseman that really did both. And so my then sergeant told me about possibly lap moving. He also lap moved out of the MOS. He's now a master sergeant. Good guy. He's out in NOLA right now, doing big things for the Marine Corps. But so I moved back in 2012, became a 3043 supply admin, and I've been doing that ever since, man.
Look, warehouse admin, same 300, 3,000 field, but promotion is different.
Oh yeah. So fun fact. My first enlistment, dude, I saw 43s that came in. I was a Lance Corporal. I seen them dudes came in as privates and got promoted to corporal, and I was still sitting there as a Lance Corporal.
I'm telling you what. Hey, the warehouse dudes do all the work while the supply admin gets all the money.
Yeah, well, it's changing, though. From what I'm being told, we're getting this new MOS called the 3047. So, the matriculation of us older guys, as we tend to wane and fade out of the Marine Corps, they're starting to understand that people in the warehouse can do both, and people on the other side of the fence can do both. So, a lot of talks has been, a lot of planning, a lot of talks have been put into it. But I believe, we're heading in the right direction. But yeah.
That's dope. That's good, man. Funneling through one MOS, it makes sense because if you can tick for tack, do the same thing, that it's like 01s, 0151, 0141s, 0151s, whatever the whatever it was back in the day when those old farts. But yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. But hey, Mike, look, let's get into why we got you on, man. You're on the streets, hitting it hard, full grind, 100%, taken away from your family.
I am.
And let's hit that, man. How long you been on recruiting? Are you on your way out?
Man, no, no, I'm not on my way out. And I don't plan on going nowhere. I plan on sticking it out.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. 8412?
Yeah. 8412 is my dream and aspiration, man. It's been since day one. Since day one, brother. So, been out here for 1 year, actually. Just became the station commander at RSS Hiram. Family-wise, married Angela, my beautiful wife. Got 4 kids. My daughter just graduated high school. The duty, how has it affected my family? Well, in the beginning, they didn't really understand what it is I was doing, why the long hours and things like that. But I think as time has gone on, I think they have now started to realize, like, okay, this is why Dad is doing what he's doing. Or, you know, for Angela, this is why Mike is doing what he's doing, you know. But recruiting duty has taught me a lot. It's taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot about perseverance. Taught me a lot about the art of no, the art of hearing no and not believing no.
Hey, man, that's the same thing, dog. Oh, shoot. Talk about that, though, man. I'll tell you what, perseverance, the no is no. Is it, though? Is it, though?
No, right? Is it no? Is it really no? Can we understand why that no is such a hard no, or maybe a soft no, right? So, fun fact, man, welcome to a kid. Hey, what's going on, big guy? First thing he says to you is, no, I'm not interested. Well, I was going to ask you about the cheeseburger joint down the street. How is it? Is it good? Are you from around here? Did you go to high school up in these parts? Like, what's up with you, man? You doing all right? You a little tense, my guy. What's going on? And you throw that hand out there. When they shake, you pull them in. You feel me? And then all of a sudden that no, you start to pull back and you start to ask those basic questions, man. Getting to understand this young man, what his future plans are and what you can do to align with that, right? And a lot of times, there's 2 types of recruiters, right? There's a desperate guy, and then there's a guy, like, you know, who's like, hey, what's up, dude? I'm here. Here's what the Marine Corps has to offer. I believe you could benefit from this. Hey, dog, here's a card. Hit me up, right? And on the back of that card, I want you to read something real quick. And he'll flip the back of the card, right? And it says, some people wonder all their lives if they've made a difference. The Marines don't have that problem. And then I smile, I shake their hand, and I walk away. And 2 days later, they're in my chair, in my office, having a conversation with me about the Marine Corps and what the Marine Corps can do for them, right? And then all of a sudden, 3 months go by, they come back, you know, walking tall. And I asked them, I said, are you interested now?
I see what you do. I see what you do, little dog.
You see what I'm saying?
And
now it becomes sort of like, it's like a myth out here, right? Most of the kids will be like, well, I don't know about the Marine Corps. And then you'll hear a kid say, oh, go talk to Gunny Wiles. And that's all they say. They don't say nothing else. They just go talk to Gunny Wiles. I've had kids that walked in this door, man, not interested. Don't want nothing to do with the military. 6 months later, they're in Hawaii. 6 months later, they're in Okinawa. They're sending me pictures of them on the beach in Hawaii, pictures of them on the beach in Oki. Oh, by the way, I'm going to Guam. Or, hey, I'm being stationed in Beaufort, South Carolina. Like, everything you told me was one of the best phrases I've ever gotten from a kid I put in. He came back to the office and he looked at me. He said, I didn't have a father growing up. When you met me, you told me that you are not only just my recruiter. You're my big brother. You're my friend. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening to this young dude, and I'm kind of flabbergasted, man. He's 18. I have an 18-year-old daughter. So it's starting to hit home for me, right? And we talk, and he tells me, hey, I'm going to go hang out with my family, but I just wanted to say thank you. And for the rest of the day, in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, The words that we say to people really carry an effect on them, whether we know it or not, right? And so part of my goal out here, man, is to change the lives of people who didn't even know that the Marine Corps could be a benefit to them. That is my sole purpose of being out here, brother. Me and you talked briefly, bro. Me and you talked briefly about upbringing and like where we came from, right? Like I said in the beginning of the podcast, I was born in Liberia, right? In a small village in Liberia, no running water, no lights, no nothing, man. I came to this country at the age of 11, went through the trenches in Jersey, and my recruiter, Matthew Dahl, took a flyer on me, man. Literally took a flyer on me, dude. I took the ASVAB twice. I didn't pass it the first time. Did not pass the ASVAB the first time, dog. Took it the second time. Bravo up in this house, bro.
Oh, boy.
You know what I'm saying? Bravo my way all the way to a Marine Gunnery Sergeant. Imagine that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But and so because of my recruiter and one of my drill instructors, all of my drill instructors had an impact on me. But one specifically, man, he's out there in Arizona, where you're at, I think. First Sergeant Celestine, man. A guy that's been a mentor, he's been a teacher, he's been a brother, he's been a friend to me. Every step of my career, he's been there, right? He's been somebody who I can lean to for advice. He's been somebody who can, just keep it a buck with me. Times when I'm cutting up and I'm acting a fool, he would be like, "Hey, what are you doing, man? Like, get it together," right? And, I would kind of snap back to reality, brother. So it's been a journey, man, but it's been a good journey. There's been some ups and some downs now. Don't let the smiles fool you, but it's been a journey nonetheless.
Look, man, I gotta say, that's deep right off the bat. That's deep.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what, people, I was talking to, he's not my boy, but he's the Chaps Redmond.
Yeah.
And he told me a story about Stan the Man. And it's along the lines of what you're saying. Stan the Man was like, look, he served 40 years ago, right? It was Chaps's uncle. I think it was his uncle. And he was talking about, the chief that was treating him a certain way while he was on the fleet, right? Take a seat bag, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, man, that was his first interaction with the chief. And the chief treated him like a man, treated like a man and respect. And that had a long lasting impression on his a great uncle or his great granddad. And and then the moral of the story is, man, look, the way you live your life matters, and the way you treat people matters, because
absolutely
everybody's going to forget what you do, forget what you say, but they're going to remember how you treat them and how you, you know what I'm saying? So that resonates with me, man, a 1,000-fold, 100 yards deep. I appreciate what you're doing out in the streets, man, with those young individuals that are impressionable and they're swayed one way or the other by whatever they watch, listen, and hear. And I appreciate what you're doing, Mike, man. That's deep. That's the good stuff. Now let me, since it's not all good, and I know plenty of recruiters that come off the streets that are still on the streets, man. You're not the only one, but I'll tell you what, family is not prepared for recruiting. Family is not prepared for drill instructor duty, let alone recruiting duty. And I don't think there's enough without spouses, man. I'll tell you what, my wife's not much of a networker, right? She's not going to go out and, okay, who's on the drill field? Let me know what you think, right? Once you're there, it's just like, bam, slap in the face. Here you go, prepare, not prepare. Whether whether you're successful or not, it's based on your spouse, the military active service duty man. And then he don't even know what he's getting into, right? So
absolutely not.
It's really based off the leadership that he has. What could your leadership done to better prepare you moving into recruiting duty?
The thing about the Marine Corps is because different people come from different walks of life. So my master guns, I was at the Division G4 before coming here. When I say the division, I'm talking about 2nd Marine Division. I was at 2nd Marine Division G4 before I came out here. So my master guns did recruiting. So he would consistently drill me in MC3. That was the thing. He would consistently drill me in MC3. But nobody prepares you for recruiting duty, because I think everybody wants to leave the streets. They forget what recruiting duty is. They literally forget, or they try to forget, or they try their hardest to forget what recruiting duty is, right? And I will say this, coming out here, starting this duty, learning all the things that you need to learn out here. One of the things I will say is I really do wish that the schoolhouse will start to take more time into teaching the system, right? So MC3, I get that. We learn about the 48% of what it is that a recruiter needs to do to be successful out here. But what I would really like to see is an opportunity for, a little, like maybe like a couple more weeks added to the school, so Marines can actually learn the clickology of McChrist. They can get into McChrist, learn the ins and outs of that thing, and kind of get a real life feel for it for when they come out here on the streets. Now, if you have a good boss, you'll learn the clickology, right? But if you have a boss who didn't have a good boss, who grew up a certain kind of way in the Corps, and that's what you get, guess what? You're going to be a product of your environment. You're either going to be really good at it or you're going to be really trash at it, right? I've heard lots of horror stories prior to me coming out on recruiting duty. I will say it has been the complete and total opposite for me. Now, I'm not saying that to say that recruiting duty is not difficult, that there are not challenges out here. There are. But recruiting duty is not the horror that I heard before coming out here. Right? But then again, maybe it's a mindset thing for me, right? Because thinking about it, it was, hey, I'm coming out here because I want to change lives of people, right? I want to be able to pour into young men and young women to give them an opportunity to see where they can ultimately be, right? So that mom that tells me, hey, why don't you, this is a real story, by the way. Why are you calling my Hispanic son? Why don't you go call some white boys and some black boys?
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. Hit me hard in the chest, right? And okay, what do you do with that? Okay, ma'am. It's been a great pleasure talking to you. Hopefully one day we can have a real opportunity for me to sit across kneecap from kneecap to you and show you what your son can truly be if he's open to the opportunities that the Marine Corps has to offer him. Have a great day, man. God bless you. Right? That's a no, but that's a no in a very crushing way, right? A very sinister way, right? Some guys will be defeated by that. Me? Okay, cool. I annotated McChrist. She's angry. She's aggressive. And then I move on. I get up from my desk for about a good 15, 20 minutes. I walk outside. I get a little bit of the sun. Then I walk back into my office and I get back on that phone. But a lot of dudes will get frustrated. A lot of dudes will say, damn, nothing is working for me. The phones are not working. AC's not working. DCs is not working. HVs are not working. What do I do? Make one more phone call. Text one more kid. Go through your packs. Go to the gym. It's 3 p.m. You're in a big city. Where do you think 17 to 26-year-olds are going to be? They're going to be in the gym. They're going to be in the mall. They're going to be at a grocery store. They're going to be at a gas station. Go do that, right? But a lot of people don't have that mindset. They don't have. It's all about woe is me, right? I hate that woe is me mentality, Gunny G. I hate that. And so, there's kids that will look at me and say, why do you always have a smile on your face, Gunny? Why? You never stop moving. You never stop going. I never stop going because guess what? The next kid that's going to say yes, he's only one phone call away from a no. He's only one more handshake. He's only one more, hey, what's up, my guy? How you living?
I'm going to put that on the shirt. What is that? What is that? One more no from a yes? Oh, boy, I'll tell you what. One more no
from a yes.
That's it, man.
One more no from a yes. That's it, man. I'm telling you. And we get, some of us get defeated when we hear a no, right? No is the beginning of an opportunity for progress. Because if everybody you walked up to said, yes, I want to be a Marine, are you truly working?
Oof.
Well, somebody
preach. Where's the choir? Where's the choir? God dang. Praise break up in this piece.
If somebody says yes, every time you walked up to them, are you truly working? Like, is it going to be an actual commit? Are they going to show up and sit in that seat and have it be an actual interview? When they say no and you can give them a reason why, when they say no and you can show them something about yourself that the Marine Corps has been able to help you accomplish, and they now have a reason why, hey, I need to go see that Gunny Wiles guy, right? I need to go see Gunny Parham. I need to go see.
Hold on, Mike. Look, let me tell you something. Let me tell you, Mike Wiles, stop playing. Look, that's why I keep forgetting. Bad boys. Anyways, I'm sorry. I digress. But here's what I got to say, though. You come from a village with no electricity, no heat, trying to figure out your next meal, adversity at its finest, right?
Right.
They're not.
Right.
They're not. Why would anybody move away from their comfort zone and then say, look, yeah, the Marine Corps is for me? I know that there's great stories at the end of the day, great outcomes. But that first initial push, that's why your mentality's right, dog. Because I don't come from no village. You know what I'm saying? I come from the streets of Harlingen, Texas, where I had a roof over my head. I knew where the next meal was coming from because my parents were obligated, right?
Right.
That's not the same thing for you. That's why it's two different worlds, two different atmospheres, two different attitudes. Not everybody has your attitude, dog. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it's great, right? And that you're the perfect 8412. Now that I think about it, you can make things resonate. Man, I'll tell you what. I was skeptical at first. I'm convinced. Sign me for my next contract. I might just go to recruiting, but I won't. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, let's go. I'll be here, man. When you get here, I'll be here when you get here.
Nah.
And I tell at par, at all hands, I tell all the new recruiters, man, work until the work is done.
What? Time out, Mike. That's horrible advice. There's always gonna be work to do till you go to sleep to wake up at recruiting duty.
It is. So what? Some will, some won't. Who cares? Who's next?
Ooh, that's a shirt. That's on my podcast, so that's my shirt. I'm just Mike, you're giving me some great stuff, dog. Let me mark that real quick.
Check this out, man. Everyone that comes out here has a desire to be great, right? Somewhere in their career, they've been successful. But, Gunny Cordell, Gunny Farham, all these guys, right? These are all people that I know and I trust and respect. These are men that were successful prior to coming on recruiting duty. Recruiting duty had just enhanced what they've already been great at, right? And so when we come out here and you have that mindset and that hunger of, hey, we have to drive what it is we know to be true. As a supply chief, I knew that if I came into work every day, based off my TNR standards, I trained my Marines to that specific task, to those specific tasks, every week, every month, every day. Good days become good weeks become good months become a good quarter becomes a good fiscal year. It's not accidental. You never become great by accident.
Boy. Oh my God. Are you religious in any way? Because you are preaching to my heart, my man. I am fully converted.
Faith, man.
I'm a fully converted man.
I'm a man of faith, and that's why this duty has been what it has been for me, brother. There's days where I'm like, wow, this is hard. And there's days where I'm like, Lord, thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this.
Oh, boy.
Because the opportunity to speak to a young man or young woman and his mother and his father, her mother or her father, and have that parent say, you know what, I trust you enough with my young daughter or my young son to be able to train, mentor more, and lead them, get them prepared to go to recruit training. Nothing resonates more with me than that as a parent, right? And so I take it to the extreme. I take everything I do to the extreme. I just took over as a recruiting station commander. First thing I did, I came up with a letter, a welcome aboard letter. When a kid goes to MEPS, he qualifies, I send a letter home with him or her. Take this to mom and dad. Let them know who I am, what the recruiters are. All right. But you know what I'm saying? Like I send them home with a letter that says, hey, I'm Gunnery Sergeant Wiles. I'm the station commander at my station. These are the recruiters that assist me in the administration of my duties. Thank you for allowing your young son and daughter to be a part of this family. You can reach me at so-and-so number. I'm here. These are the things that I'm charged with my commander to do to help your young son or your young daughter get prepared for recruit training. Right? And so bad habits lead to bad days. Good habits lead to good days. You're only going to get what you put into this duty. Sometimes out here, you could do everything right and don't get a single appointment, interview, or NWA. It just takes one random meeting, right? I'm not going to say random, one divine meeting with a young man or a young woman to change your day. And then all of a sudden, your week is now heading to a better place, right? Because the good book that I read, it tells me that the steps of a good man is ordered by the Lord. And so for me, I don't wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I don't. I wake up in the morning and I say, Lord, let your will be done. Why am I asking God to let his will be done? His will is to see me prosper. His will is to see me succeed. It is inherent in his word that his people who he created, the Bible says they who he knows, like the sheep knows the voice of the shepherd. So if I know the voice of the shepherd, and I know that the shepherd is saying that he wants me to succeed, he wants me to progress, he wants me to be the best that I can possibly be out there, I'm not waking up and saying, look at me, it's about me. No, it's about the one who sent me to do what it is that I'm here to do. That's why I don't take.
Let me hit you with the flip on this. Here we go. Right, you talk about the sheep knows the sheep knows the shepherd. Right, they know him.
Yeah.
They know how to follow. They know that the shepherd is going to lead the sheep to great pastures at the end of the day, right? But the sheep is still the sheep, right?
Yeah.
And here we go. Like you're a sheep, you're a lamb, a single lamb, right? In recruiting duty. That means that God knows that you're going to work. God knows that you have to work. God knows that you're going to be slaving, essentially, sometimes over phone calls, paperwork. That doesn't mean you're going to be the station commander. That doesn't mean you're going to be the team lead, the staff NCOIC, whatever the case may be, whatever bullets that's out there. That doesn't going to mean that. That means you're going to be GP and you're going to work at GP. And when it's time, like you said earlier, let your will be done at the very beginning, right? The will at the end of the day is that you're going to be led to great pastures, right?
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you got to work.
Yeah.
You got to work. Whatever position you have, you got to work. It's just how it is, just how life is, man. The sheep's got to follow, graze. They got to lead the shepherd. The shepherd's got to work too, right? The shepherd's going to work you to work and to get to great pastures, man. I'll tell you what. It doesn't even have to be biblical. It doesn't have to be virtue signaling. It's just being like, look, dog, you reap what you sow. Use karma, whatever label you want to put it on. You put in the work, you're going to get good stuff, rewards out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine being a farmer and not sowing seeds and expect to get a harvest.
Oh boy.
Or check this one out. Imagine not depositing something into a bank and trying to withdraw it. I'll wait. Two things are going to happen. They're going to tell you, hey, you don't have that in here, or hey, you're going to jail because you're trying to do something funny. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So what you deposit into your work is going to germinate. So in order for a seed to grow, that seed has to die. Let me say that one more time. In order for a seed to germinate and grow, the seed has to die. The issue is nobody wants to die.
That's good.
Nobody wants to take that 3 hours that it takes to set 2 appointments on the phones. Everybody wants to walk out in the street and 35 minutes later, they got 2 appointments because they met 2 young men at the gas station. What happens when you meet 10 young men and the answer is 10 no's? What do? Do you stop? Do you throw your hands in the air? Do you keep going? Because you have to die to yourself and how you feel and what has made you successful up to this point. Because guess what? You're no longer dealing with lance corporals. You're no longer dealing with the sergeants and the staff sergeants. You're no longer dealing with the corporals. You're no longer dealing with the privates. You are now dealing with people who don't care about your deadlines, don't care about how many contracts you need to write. All they know is they're in their comfort zone. Now here you come trying to remove them out of their comfort zone. They're going to resent that. They're going to resist that. But in the end, are you really ready to work and die to yourself to be able to understand the assignment? The issue is a lot of people buck against the system out here on recruiting duty. They come out here, they forget MC3. They come out here, they forget the basics on what it takes to be successful. It might work for you once or twice. It might work a month. It might work 2 months. But if you forget the basics, you're going to struggle in the long run. Does that make sense, Gunny G?
Absolutely, man. Brilliance in the basics. Look, I got to tell you what, man. We got a little bit more time left because I know your time's precious and my time's precious. You know, family's important. I know you got to get back to them. I got a couple more questions, man. We got to get on it, and don't take it. Don't get it twisted. This is great. This is great. But look, let me tell you. I'm gonna safely assume that your family is the same at the same religious season that you're in, same faith standpoint season you're in, and so they understand the mission, they understand the assignment. Okay. And they understand, she understands, your wife understands her role in this marriage and the kids. Here's what I'm gonna ask it, even though we know that inherently, because we serve a higher purpose, we serve a higher calling, and serve a higher God, it's not always easy that way. Touch on the family piece, touch on the family piece and the communication you have to have, because service members forget the brilliance in the basics. Let's get back to the basics of communicating, just like you're doing now. If people are the center of gravity, your wife got to be the center of gravity here at this point.
Absolutely. So communication with your spouse on duties like these are extremely important. Right. And so what I try to do is I try to check in on the 15th. So what do I mean by that? It's now 2:45 East Coast time. 3:15, I'll usually send a text. 1:15, I'll send a text. Hey, babe, how are you? What's going on? How are the kids? How is your day? What can I do to enhance your day? Something as simple as that, right? She'll text me back, hey, I'm doing good. I had to pick up this. I had to do this. I had to do that. What's going on with you? And I'm like, hey, are you out and about or are you at the house? If she tells me, hey, I'm out and about, my next question is, where are you? Because if I have 45 minutes or 50 minutes to go out and meet with her at, say, the Walmart or, say, the Target or, say, whatever store, I'm a recruiter. I'm gonna grab my alphas. I'm gonna grab my blues. I'm gonna throw it on, and I'm gonna go out there with a stack of these in my hand, and I'm gonna go have lunch with my wife, or I'm going to go and prospect while also spending time with her. And she understands that, right? Hey, I'm leaving the office. I'm gonna meet you for a bit. Do you want to grab a bite to eat? Oh yeah, let's do that. Oh, and she'll tell me, bring some of your business cards. Or, hey, do you want me to bring some business cards?
Hey, I like that relationship. That's nice. Hey, I'll prospect for you. It's allowing us to eat.
But see, what she's saying to me is, I understand what you're doing, and I'm here to support it. Right? When we first got out here, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that when we first got out here, because I'm coming from the G4 where 1530, 1600, I'm out of here. I'm home. Now it's 17, 1830, and I'm still in the office. She's like, wait, where are you? Is everything okay? Do I need to come get somebody? Do I need to call the CO? I'm like, no, it's just the nature. It's the nature of what we do.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? But over time, me talking to her, me introducing her to other spouses whose husbands have been on recruiting duty, and having her talk to them and kind of get an understanding, she's now starting to more or less take on the role of, hey, it's not just about you on the duty, it's about us on the duty. So when you can get the we are on this duty versus you are on this duty, then you start to win. But here's a key part though. Here's a key part. We're off on Sunday. We're off on Sundays, and I try not to plan anything recruiting related on Sunday unless I absolutely have to.
But when I am home, I am home 100%.
Hmm.
My computer is put, my govy phone is put away. My personal phone is put away because I am focused on establishing and maintaining good communication and relationship with my family. Does
Hmm.
that make sense?
Absolutely, man. Priorities.
So, priorities, right? And so, what if something was to come up to where it was something of high significance or importance, I'll ask her like, "Hey, do you mind if I attend to this? This is important. Not taken away from you or the children, but this is important. Do you mind if I take care of this really quickly?" 15, 15, 20 minutes, deal with the Marine Corps, handle what they need, and I'm off about that, right? I'm doing what I need to do, back with my family, back with the kids, doing what I need to do. Like and even with my son, we go out to the Six Flags the other day, and I have a stack of cards. And he's like, "Oh, can I get money to, buy this and buy that?" Yes, you can have $40, but you have to give out 40 of my business cards.
Hey, hey, I like that. I'm about to go on recruiting duty. I like that.
He's like, "Hey, I can do it. I can do it, Dad. Watch me do it." And I'm like, "It can't be kids your age because he's 13." I said, "Hey, you got to give it to the big boys, the 17 to 23, 24-year-olds." So he's literally asking them, "Hey, how old are you, dude?"
That's dope, man.
He doesn't know what all the qualifications are. All he knows is the dude needs to be 17 to 23, and he'll give him a card. He comes back, "Dad, I gave it all out. I gave it all out." I'm like, "Good. Here, you can have $40."
Work a little bit. The value of money, man. The value of money. Look,
Hey.
I got one more. On the 15s, right? You said on the 15s. That's good gouge.
Yes,
Text
on the 15.
on the 15s, man. Call, text. Show up. Just show up and show out on the 15s.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm gonna take that, put in my toolbox. I know that we're active duty, and past and present service members all deal with mental health, all deal with SI, SA, all these things, that domestic violence, whatever the case may be, alcohol related incidents, and more than we need to be, dealing with, especially the Marine Corps. I don't know why. Out of the 5 service, branches, the Marine Corps has the highest anxiety, depression, and all those negative things. Talk to that service member that's dealing with mental health right now. Give them one tool for the toolbox, and the ones that are considering, that ultimate sacrifice that we don't want them to, talk to them. Let them know, this is what you can do. Here's what I have to offer.
So, one, I would ask every service member who's dealing with depression, anxiety, or any other mental health condition to, one, take a knee. Understand that it's okay to not be okay. And I'm not saying that as a slogan. I'm saying that as understand where you're at as a person, and then reach out to those brothers and sisters to your left and your right. For example, if you're dealing with anxiety and depression and you don't communicate, or you're unable to communicate with the people that are around you to get those issues solved, reach out to the chaplain if you have a chaplain. Reach out to a buddy that you served with, or someone who you are close to, or even just dial the hotline. Call the hotline. Talk to that counselor. Um, find a doctor in your community, or on base or outside of base, and go talk to somebody. There were times in my career that I've gone to go seek counseling myself. Not because I'm this tough, figure or anything like that. I've had adversity in my life. I've had some traumatic things happen to me in my life, in and out of this uniform. But what I've done was I've made mental health a priority. A lot of us don't make mental health a priority. We make the mission a priority. We make everybody else a priority except for ourselves. But um, I wanted to do this as an example as we talk about mental health. See, this is an empty cup. See it? It's empty. If a cup is empty, you can't pour nothing into an empty cup, can you?
Mm.
An empty cup cannot pour into anything else.
Mm.
So a lot of time we're fathers, we're wives, we're brothers, we're sisters, and we keep going and keep going, and we got to be the strong ones and we got to be there for everybody else, and we got to shoulder the burdens for everybody else. But our cup is empty. And if we don't take a need to realize, hey, I need a refill, we
Mm.
burn out.
Mm.
And when we burn out, we start thinking about the unthinkable. So before you get to the point where you start thinking about the unthinkable, reach out and talk to somebody. Call the 1-800 number. Call the Military One source. Get in with your doctor and explain to your doctor. And you don't have to be ashamed of dealing with anxiety or depression. Go and get the help that you need. If you have a wife or husband or children, family members, brothers and sisters, and moms and dads, they love you. And I think one of the things that I want to encourage family members of service members to do is tap in with these people. Because, you know it, man, a lot of time when we leave home, after year number 1, it's like we're a distant memory.
Facts.
Cousins don't reach out. Moms don't reach out sometimes. Dads don't reach out sometimes. You're the one reaching out. You're the one going on vacation to go see them, right? And to some, like that, I've had you as my mom and dad and brothers and sisters and cousins all my life, and all of a sudden, I'm around a whole bunch of new people. Yeah, these people are becoming family, not by blood, but by association and by a shared virtue of what we do as Marines. But a lot of times, like those underlying factors, that's where it starts, man.
That's deep.
And yeah, and I just like I still do counseling to this day. I still go at least once a week, G. I go once a week because, like I said before, man, not here on this duty, but in my career, I have experienced adversity. I was the subject of a non-judicial punishment as a staff sergeant.
Hey, what the? Hello. And here you are, Gunny. Gunny, what? What the?
Yeah, I was NJP'd as a staff sergeant when I was stationed in New York, and everyone around me told me my career was over.
But
the only person who didn't believe his career was over is the man standing here in the mirror looking at you right now.
But God, hello, NG.
But
my
God.
God, my goodness, my goodness.
Won't he do it? Won't he do it? When I got in zone for Gunnery Sergeant, I got passed the first time, and I just kind of accepted it. I didn't do any research. I didn't fight the system. I didn't do anything. I was just like, man, Master Sergeant said I was done. Master Gun said I was done. Sergeant Major said I was done. I got to be done. Second year, I got passed. I'm like, wait, something ain't right here. What's going on? Why am I continuously getting passed? Like, yeah, I got in trouble, but look at my evaluation since then. Look at how many awards I've gotten. Look at how many different billets I've been in. Nothing. The third year, I got a P. I was like, wait a minute. This is crazy. This is crazy. I go home, I'm talking to my wife, and she's like, wait, there's nothing we can do about this? There's nothing we can do about this? And I told her, I said, yeah, there's absolutely something we can do about this. So I started doing research. Then somebody told me about a remedial. Somebody who I didn't even know told me about a remedial. People in my chain of command told me that remedials don't work. Don't waste your time. I've never seen it work.
Whack.
I submitted a remedial with all the facts. No emotions, straight facts. I get out here. I'm on the street. I'm working. I go to work. I'm leaving a high school, G. I get home. I get to the office, and I'm looking to write a letter to a couple of my guys. I log into the system. I log into MOL. On the top, like MOL says your rank. I see the top. Instead of saying Staff Sergeant Wiles, it said Gunnery Sergeant Wiles. I'm like, wait a minute. Nah, somebody messed something up. The system is broken. I don't know what's going on. It's messed up. It's got to be messed up.
Yeah.
So I call my buddy. He's one of my mentors. He's the Sergeant Major at WRR right now. I call him. I'm like, hey, Sergeant Major, can you look me up in command profile? See what it says my rank is. Pulls it up. He said, hey, it says Gunnery Sergeant, I guess. Congratulations, Gunnery Sergeant. I was like, what? And he was like, hey, your data rank is almost 2 years backdated, man. It's backdated quite a bit.
Wow.
And I'm like, what? What are you saying to me? He was like, yeah. So then I called my command Sergeant Major here, and I reached out to Sergeant Major, and I'm like, hey, this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm the research I'm doing. He's like, well, let me call district. He called district, and the sergeant major there confirmed it. And then 2 days later, I got the email saying, "Hey, congratulations, you were immediately selected and promoted to the rank of gunnery sergeant."
Hey, man, that's what's up.
So, but during that time, when I had gotten NJP, bro, like my mind was not right. I'm losing 2.5 months pay. I'm a staff sergeant. I got a family. Like, dude, everything that you can possibly think about is coming at you all at once. But I didn't give up. I just trusted God, and I just kept working because I knew that the events of what I had gone through that got me NJP'd was not the definition of who I am as a person, as a man, as a Marine, as a father, as a brother. But in that moment, bro, your mind is dark. In that moment, your mind is dark. It goes dark. And so when people face adversity who haven't gone through adversity before, a lot of times they think the only way to solve that adversity is to subtract themselves.
Yeah, true.
But
Mike.
we have, yes, sir.
Mike, look, man, I know this is deep. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not listening and you're going to listen, man, you're in for a good, rude awakening, a slap in the face. No virtue signaling here, just honesty, transparency, and what really works for us. Look, man, I'm short on time. I know you are. I got to get you back to your family. You got to go. And
yes, sir.
Where can they reach you at? Social media handles.
I'm on Instagram. I am MG Wiles. I'm on TikTok. I'm MG Wiles. Facebook, Michael Wiles. Reach out to me, man. Let's talk about it. Whatever it is you got. I'm a friend. I'm a brother, man. I don't judge. I have no heaven or hell to put nobody in. What I do know is that whatever you confide in me, if I'm able to help you, I will help you. Two things. I'm very open. I'm very transparent. I don't do drama and I don't do negativity, man. But nothing but love. I'm out here just trying to do the best I can to continue to progress myself and those who are associated with me.
Well, good thing I'm associated with you, Mike, because you know what I'm saying?
Go, bro.
Let's go. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Pit Talk, pulling pits and opinions with your host, Gunny G, where service members help service members, period. Follow, like, subscribe everywhere you get your podcasts and on all social media platforms. Let us know how we're doing. Any criticism is good criticism. It is Gunny G with Gunny Mike Wiles on the streets.
Yes, sir.
Live and fresh, ladies and gentlemen. We out.
We out of here.
Pit Talk is a podcast featuring active service members who discuss their thoughts and opinions on various issues surrounding military life, current events, and history. The statements heard here are the opinions of its members and guests. These do not necessarily reflect the views of the Department of Defense and are not endorsed or sponsored in any way. Listener, viewer discretion advised.